Hi Akio, hi Hiro. Thank you for sending me your video. And I have some tips that I hope will help you. So the first thing you asked me about is foot technique for samba and bossa. And I would suggest playing heel down for softer situations. So that includes the living room. Um, I'll show you what I mean. So you can see that technique really enables me to play at fast tempos or slow tempos, and it's very relaxed. I don't have to use a lot of energy. Okay, for the right hand ride cymbal for samba, as long as we're on the subject of samba, I do this in a couple of different ways. You can play all the 16th notes and accent. That's the first way. Second way is break up the pattern and make a 2-bar pattern. And the third way is to play a 1-measure pattern, kind of like the way you were doing it. So here's the first way, all 16th notes with accents. And the accents correspond to the cross stick pattern. So what I'm doing with the right hand is playing this kind of technique. My fingers are making contact with the stick, but my wrist is playing the accents, so that's where I get the momentum. Now, I only do that for a few measures because my hand starts to get tired. So then at that point, I can break it up. And what I'll do is I might play 2 more notes than my cross stick is playing. Or I might play 3 more notes than the cross stick. Okay, so let's talk about ride cymbal for swing. I think what was happening with your ride cymbal is that it wasn't really lining up with the hi-hat. It wasn't really syncing with the hi-hat. So what you want to do, the best way to practice is play slowly. And then you can speed up a little bit, of course, not while you're playing with a band. So the technique I'm using is like this. It's with the fingers, but I'm using a little bit of wrist for momentum. So on beat 1, I grab the stick. So I grab the stick on beat 1, and sometimes it creates an accent, but I don't want the accent on 1 and 3. I want to accent on 2 and 4. So that's why I lift the stick and then come back. 1, 2, and 3. So make sure your hi-hat is in sync with it. And make sure that everything you play on the snare is together with the downbeats and the upbeats of the cymbal pattern. Okay, let's talk about brushes. Brushes for fast swing. I notice your brush pattern it seems to be slowing down by the time you get to the downbeat. You're putting a lot of effort into it, and it's not swinging. It's not locking up with anything else. It's not syncing with the hi-hat, for example. So what I wanted to do is try to use that same method and try to lighten up a little bit. Maybe don't press your left brush so hard. Just let it glide over the drum head. Okay, so here's what I would do. So the essence of that is to have a little lighter touch on the right hand. And then when you accent, that's when you can play a forceful stroke. It seemed like you were playing a forceful stroke all the time, and that was holding you back a little bit. Okay, and a good exercise would be to fill in triplets. Of course, you can use that for solos. Let's see, what else? On the samba, your hand pattern is dragging a little bit. It's going back too far. So here's what I would suggest. For bossa, take a swing pattern, take the skip beat or pickup out, so you just have quarter notes, and then turn those into eighth notes. Okay. Now, when you're playing samba, there's a few different ways of approaching it. You can play a single stroke pattern, and you can play accents within that, like this. as I'm playing that, my hi-hat foot is playing heel down as well. Very, very relaxed. I'm not moving my left leg up and down like a dog. And it saves a lot of energy, and we need energy. So that's one way of playing samba. Another way is playing like you'd play a tambourine, you know, the small drum, the tambourine. Tak tak da da tak 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 da da tak tak da da tak 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 da da da. Teku 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 tek. So if you do that on, start with one brush. You can fill in the other brush in a couple of different ways. So one is to just play the same type of staccato stroke. But another way is when you play the left hand, instead of coming down like this, you come down sideways. So it's a slide. That's, that's, da, that's, 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 da, that's, da. Okay, so here's the whole thing. Now, if you play a really up-tempo samba, that's kind of rare these days, but if you play a super up-tempo samba, play the bass drum on beat 2, that's it. Beat 2, or if it's 4/4, beat 4, 2. So. You can even play dead stroke on 1 and then open stroke on 2. You're not going to hear a big difference on this drum, but if you have like an 18-inch bass drum, it might sound like a big difference. Now, right there, I was using heel up for the downbeat and then heel down for the open sound, both on the bass drum and hi-hat. Okay, let's see. Ballads on brushes. Okay, so what I do is, so what I heard in your playing is that there's not enough definition of where the beat is. And so here's a pattern that I like to use as kind of a default ballad pattern. So both brushes are playing circles in the opposite direction, and you're giving a little emphasis to the quarter note on the right brush. Now, the other thing I do is to add a little skip beat pickup. During the slide, I just add a little accent. So. Okay, so we got ballad. Yeah, I think that pretty much covers everything that you wanted to know about. If you have any more questions, please do contact me. And best of luck. I can't wait to see you guys in Japan, in Sapporo, in the living room. And have fun. And let me know if you have any questions. Okay, talk soon.